video.
Hello.
We are live somewhere in the world. There we go. The ketchup has begun. No mustard. All
Get back on that mic. Get back on that mic.
where? Oh, there you go. Back on the mic. We are live and everything's good. We're here. We are seen. This is going well. This is episode Love and Chokes episode 314. The ketchup. I'm here with Darren Branch and some bears, and then myself in Cleveland. And the question that always gets asked is, what is it do? So what does it do?
What it do? What it do, Anthony? It does a lot.
It does.
Yeah, man. It's been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see your motherfucking face.
Yeah.
You look fantastic. You don't look old,
Thanks.
no matter what your training partners tell you.
Mm.
You look young. You look spry, sir. I am in Las Vegas. I am in fight camp. Jessica I is about to fight Jennifer Maia, and I'm helping Jessica get ready for that event. It is also the card that features Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. So make sure you tune in. I don't think I got to tell you to tune in. If you're watching this podcast, you're going to be watching Conor McGregor fight, and you'll get the pleasure of seeing Jessica I destroy Jennifer Maia. I'm not gonna give you too much here, but I'm gonna give you a little Paul Heyman. This isn't a prediction. This is a spoiler. Jessica smashes Jennifer Maia.
Shmeesh? What round? Or is it just a unanimous decision smashing?
I will not say how it ends.
All right.
I will not say how it ends.
That's good.
I don't want to give anything away. But I am a confident young man right now. Camp has been wonderful.
Woo.
And what's going on with you, sir? I'm plugging in some power right now.
No worries. I have been looking at the apartments in Chicago, and because I'm getting ready to move eventually soon, supposedly. And allegedly, yeah. According to a nice company, they say I have to move. But so I'm hoping that what's it called? I'm hoping I find a nice place. It doesn't look like I will, because Chicago sucks. Great food. Terrible, horrible people. Great food though.
You just bury a whole city.
Yeah, like great food. It's like they are it's just gross. It's like all of it's gross, but it's okay. Yeah, it's just like people just put trash, like literally no care, open the door, just dump trash in, not even like trying to do like the sly, like roll the window down, let it fall out casually, but very much like open the door, just brushing whatever's in their seat into the street, and then just being like, all right, let's keep it moving.
You saw this more than once?
I saw this, it seemed like it was normal. It seemed very normal to me that people would just do this. Like they just like open their door and just be like bop, bop, bop in the street, close door, and then keep it moving in the stop.
That's fucking crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy that nobody just says like just yells at anybody, and everybody's just like, it's okay. Like this is normal. Like you're okay. It's okay to do this. Like just throw it on the. You would wonder why taxes are so high. It's because like people just throw trash everywhere. And somebody has to get paid to pick it up. Also, found out that.
See, Anthony,
yeah.
This is why people think you look old, is because you sound like a curmudgeon right now. You don't look old, but you're like, these fucking whippersnappers just throwing the trash.
It's not even young people. It's just old people. It's everybody does it. It's like a thing that you just do. It's a cultural thing. It's a phenomenon. It's like somehow being in a city does not exclude you. It's like everybody thinks you're more classier when you live in a city. It's like actually could be further from the truth. But the other thing that I found out is that the scams in the city are way cooler though. Like,
what do you mean?
Like you can dress up. You could you could start a company. Say you started a company in a street, wear a nice little like collared shirt with a logo, and be like, "Hey, we're trying to save the trees. We're trying to make sure we grow more trees in Chicago. So we're an initiative to plant trees. Every donation, will help go to planting a tree. Okay, cool. How do I donate? Can I give you cash? No, we don't accept cash because of the pandemic. Oh, I understand. How about it's like we do credit cards.
Oh my god.
And it's like, hey. And it's like, all right, so how much can you donate? It's like, well, you can do, it's like $1, $5. Sometimes it's like, well, you can start off doing $30 a month. That's the lowest we have as the donation where you can donate. It's like it's a reoccurring billing. So every month you pay $30 and you're donating to the growth of the Chicago tree area. It's like, oh, that's a real scam. And people just give you their credit card and you can just say that. It's like, yeah. And nobody can.
Okay, now there are like environmental canvassing like agencies,
right,
that are technically not scams.
I agree.
But I would feel weird about giving my credit card information in the street.
Right.
But yeah, I also don't give a fuck about trees.
That's the other thing too. He said trees or
water.
I'm
kidding. That's not really true.
He said air or water. Which one would you prefer? I said water. He's like, well, I can't help you. I'm like, well, this is a stupid conversation. Water's more important.
Well, you went off script.
Yeah, I was like
I've been doing some research into sales, right? Yeah. And that's what that skill is. Like when you're doing those canvassing things, this is sales practice, right? And so like when someone goes off your script, like you're supposed to have said fucking water or whatever the fuck, or air.
Yeah.
You're supposed to say air. So then he could be like, well, if you care about air, Anthony, da-da-da-da-da. But you were like water, and he was like, oh, okay. Have a nice day.
Yeah, like, it's like, see you later. It's like, yeah. Like,
once you get off script, that rookie salesperson had no fucking ammunition.
No.
You know? He's got to bring you back to how much you love air.
Yeah.
He'll be like, all right, well, hold your breath. He should have said something else to you. Even if he had gotten you to laugh just like that, that's a half a step closer to getting your credit card out of your pocket. Now, do I think you would have fucking given him your numbers?
I did not. I watched my what's it? I guess my agent. I guess my brokerage agent just do that, or I'm a brokerage agent. My property. I don't know what you call him. He's a real estate agent, and he did that. He was pulled it out. I'm like, yo, you should put that back in your pocket, my man. Like you don't know this guy. And then like, once he heard like, oh yeah, this is $30 a month. He's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And I'm like I don't know. Like he was mad at me.
Your way. You would have had him at 10.
Yeah. I was like,
he would have canceled his Netflix over this shit.
Yeah. If you could give $10 once, like that's it. But like not like $30 every year. And who do I call to cancel this? Like who do I talk to about this?
And do you want to have that conversation? It's like I no longer care about trees.
Exactly. Like, it's a great scam. And I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like,
it's like I want you to donate to children. It's like
yeah,
what?
Exactly.
It's like,
exactly.
Donate to children. What do you fucking hate children?
I'd be like, yeah, I do. I don't. That's why I don't have any. I would prefer if there were less of them. I'm actually, yeah, no. I have like, yeah.
Sir.
I'm actually trying to figure out. There's been a thing. I know we're gonna go off script today, but like, there's been like a thing where, I was thinking about ways to like have like not like end non-conversation starters. Like, you know, where like they're like, oh man, you're here really early. It's like, yeah, lots to do, not a lot of time to do it in, and then just keep it moving because like it's not really a conversation that you're having with anybody. You're making a statement, and then you want me to respond to this statement. Like it's like as something like you're holding me hostage in this dumb conversation. It's like so I would just rather just have a quick response back and then keep my life away from you. Right? Because like it's like because why'd say that? It's like, you know, like any of those times like you're up early. Or, you know, you're late or whatever it is. Like, you're just saying something. You're just calling out something that happened. We're not having a discussion about it. Like, that's another thing that bothered me. Like, the guy, there's these nice restaurants we went to in this neighborhood. I don't know, it was nice. It was like, they were pretty good. I guess they're all like ran by a Michelin starred chef. So they're not like Michelin starred, but they have like the guy's experience. And so like we get there and I'm walking in and then like as I'm getting ready to go in the restaurant, there's this big giant black dude who comes out and he looks like, I don't know, because he's wearing a black shirt, but he's like he makes Big J look like Jay, and he just goes like this and just like blocks one of the entrances, like so, and he's like that, and he's just staying there. I'm like, oh, this guy is a douche. I should just walk around him, and I walk around. And he's like, hey, buddy, where are you going? To the restaurant to eat. He's like, oh no, he used to say, he didn't say that. He says, hey, come back here. So I come back here to talk to him. He's like, hey, what are you doing here? Gonna go to a restaurant to eat. I have a reservation. And he's just like, oh, yeah. I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, what is this conversation? Like, A, you don't look like you're a bouncer. You don't look like a bouncer for this nice restaurant. You look like some guy who's mad because they didn't let you in because you didn't fit the dress code. And then secondly, like, hey, what are you doing here? It's like, what are you doing here? Like, who are you? Like these dumb conversations that you don't have to have. It's like,
what are you doing here is one of my least favorite things to hear.
It's like, what are you doing here? It's like, yeah.
That happened to me once, like going to a jiu-jitsu academy, and I won't say who said it, But I get there with a buddy of mine, right? Who I recently saw on Instagram for the first time in like 10 years, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But I get there and the guy goes, "So what are you doing here?" Like the owner. And I'm like, "What?"
Training jiu-jitsu? Like, it's like, what are you doing here?
I was like, "Well, it's my night off. And I figured I could come and train somewhere. And I was going to give you a mat fee and take your class." And he was like, "Oh, all right." I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I came here to fucking burn your shit down. Like, what the fuck do you mean? What am I doing here?
These dumb questions. It's like, just living, man. What about you? It's like, what are you doing here? Honestly,
I understand.
God hasn't called me yet to tell me what I'm doing on this earth, but one day He'll tell me my calling, and I will know for sure. But right now, I'm just, doing what you're doing, existing.
That's exactly what I'm gonna say the next time someone says, "What are you doing?" I'm like, you know what? I don't know. God hasn't called me to do anything in particular yet.
It's just like just stuff like that, like just like why?
Oh, that's the funniest response ever.
Because it's like it really is. It's just like it's either like douchiness or like it's just passive aggressive conversations that you don't need to have. It's like, what are you doing here? It's like, well, I don't know yet. It's like, or like, you're here early today. It's like, yes, I am. Cool. All right. It's like, tell me, yes, the sky is beautiful. The sky is blue. Grass is green. Like, how's it going is a better conversation starter, honestly.
The sky is blue. Grass is green.
Yeah.
And Gordon Ryan fucking hates everyone.
That is the truth of the matter. He says, keep your name out of my mouth. Anytime you say my name, it better be with respect. Otherwise, it's death to you and everybody you know.
Fuck. Like, that dude's going hard.
So hard. Getting other people's interviews. He's like, hey, man, let's talk to this guy. Let's ask Damian Maia. Like, hey, Damian Maia, what's going on? And, like, what a tactical move, by the way. By the way, what a great tactical move to get a guy who called out a big name and then immediately get him on an interview, talk about something else. It's like, good for you. That's a great move. Let's give some...
All right, so for those who are not aware of the situation, right, Gordon Ryan took offense to something that Robert Drysdale said.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even super, super offensive, which is the best part of all this to me. That's the funniest part. He was just trying to say that the Death Squad wasn't as relevant of a team as some people may think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was thinking of relevance in terms of Abu Dhabi accomplishments and IBJJF accomplishments over time.
Right.
Right? That, like, in this very small window of time, these guys have come on the scene and they're doing things that are impressive. Right? But there are all these other teams who've been doing this for a minute. Right? Who have lots of champions. And, like, I think he was just saying that shouldn't be overlooked, essentially. Like, that, like, but he also said that, like, these guys have all this media support. So there are these little backhanded kind of, like, slights thrown their way. And, Gordon apparently didn't like it.
He doesn't like any of them.
And, Gordon brought up this term, fixed matches.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, you had fixed matches at Abu Dhabi. Which is true. In a sense, it's true. But in another sense, it has to be acknowledged that at the time, that was the right thing to do as seen by the culture. So, like, what I'm saying is, when you trained with somebody back in, this is like early 2000s and beyond, and previous,
mm-hmm.
right? If I say you and I enter a tournament,
yeah,
and you and I get to the finals or the semifinals or whatever, right? We're going to have a chat in the back about who's been doing what in training and who has the best shot to win it. And then we're going to give that guy the green light. We are not going to fight each other as teammates in public was the idea that was very, very prevalent throughout the culture of jiu-jitsu. That teammates do not fight teammates in public ever.
That makes sense,
right? And if you were put to that situation because of a bracket, you would have a gentleman's agreement, and you would go out there and you would kind of play your B games. You wouldn't try your A shit. You would do your B shit, your C shit, and then the guy that was supposed to win that you discussed in the back would win. And so this was common practice. This isn't something where like these guys were conspiring and now there's all these fixed matches. It's like that was the way it was fucking done. And it wasn't just like you and I aren't teammates and then I throw a match. And I think that's the perception that like people that weren't in jiu-jitsu when that was actually happening, when they hear that like Drysdale was in these fixed matches, they assume that they were just fixed matches, that there was some kind of shadiness to them, right?
Yeah.
But like shadiness is defined by the culture that's looking at it. And at the time, it wasn't seen that way, right? So like if we can watch Archie Bunker and be like, oh, at the time, blah, 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 then we have to look at jiu-jitsu and be like, well, at the time,
right.
This was above board. This was like what we all thought should happen.
Yeah.
That teammates don't fight teammates. Then Abu Dhabi made a point to be like, look, we're sick of these. And there was even a fucking name for it. That even proves that it was a fucking cultural thing. It was called closing out.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So that makes
so like
okay.
When two teammates would meet in the finals, you closed out the bracket. And so it's like sometimes in the finals of the world championships, two guys would walk out there and just raise each other's hands and walk off the mat. And one would be silver and one would be gold.
Yeah.
But they would not fight in the fucking finals of the worlds. And so because of that, people started making these adjustments in their rule sets and in their bracketing. So that it'd be like, all right, well, there's no way that these guys are going to come together. And if they come together, you got to scrap it out. Right? And I'm in favor of them scrapping it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in favor of them scrapping it out now.
Yeah.
When I was a blue belt, I did the same thing. I closed out divisions with my friends. Like if me and one of my friends were in the finals, one of my teammates were in the finals, at the time I was like the head instructor, I would take the gold most of the time, right? If I was like, whatever, I don't really give a fuck, then like my teammate would get the gold and I would take silver. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
this happened.
Yeah.
So like it was a cultural thing. So
yeah.
like I think it's fun that Gordon's talking his shit. I think it gives space for maybe a Drysdale Gordon match or a Drysdale
what match? There's no
Craig
match.
Jones match.
There's no match. There's nothing to watch there. We're watching. We're watching literally a guy get eaten up alive, just being like just drowned in the water. Like there's no match. There's no match here. There's nothing going on. It's like Gordon and Craig do whatever they want. They either take this guy's back or take this guy's leg, and it's over. There is no match here.
I'm not ready to say that. Like Drysdale's a fucking world-class grappler.
He is a world-class grappler, but he also believes that systems don't win fights, heart wins fights. So if that's your thought and you believe that, then I have a struggle. Like your judgment call and your reality is not what I believe in. It's like no. They both win fights.
I was gonna say like it's a combination of these two things. You can't just go in and be like,
yeah,
I've got balls.
Yeah.
Like trust me.
Yeah, a lot of people have balls. Like 50% of the population has balls. Do you have a plan to what to do with your balls? No, that's more important. It's like you walk in there, get them all bitten up. You should have been like tongue out first. So that's what I'm saying. Like you need to know what's going on. Like,
you say you get them all bitten up.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you're playing, if you're saying, if you're hanging out with a dog and you just like trying to throw the ball back and forth with your dog, and like you gotta tell him like, hey, you can't just like chew it up, then the ball's useless. You'd be like, all right, you could like slobber on it, bro, but like you can't just like I'm just with dog, an animal, my man. We're talking about playing fetch with a dog. Relax.
I know, it's just funny. It's just like like you're gonna get your balls chewed up. It's like what? You're gonna get your balls chewed up? It's like now they're slobber all over. Yeah. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, man, we're just talking about playing fetch with like Fido. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, like that's so I think that idea of the closeout could have been forgotten.
Yeah.
By the new generation of guys.
I almost forgot about it. I know I did one match for sure where I did a closeout. I don't think the person knew I closed it out with them, but I closed it out. And I was like, yeah, you won this, my man. It's yours. And like, but yeah, like I only did it once, but like after that, I was like, I don't want to do this again. Like this isn't fun. But I do
Yeah,
recall
you
that.
should just scrap.
Yeah, you should just scrap.
It's
Yeah,
not a big deal, especially like honestly, like it's a fucking grappling match.
really. It's like I paid
Like
money
you
to be
don't
here.
have to really beat his ass.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and even then, like if that's the sport you're in, that's the sport you're in. Like think about it like this: like the Ultimate Fighter house, there's at least one pair of teammates that I'm aware of in the same weight class. If those dudes had to fight it out, you think they're not going to fight it out to get a fucking contract?
of course.
They're not going to be like, well, in training, you've been doing better than me, so you get Dana's check, and I'll just go home and get a job. Like, no, dude. They're going to fight to the fucking death. They're going to fight until their skin turns into hamburger, and then somebody is going to get that check. And it's, who knows where it really originated in jiu-jitsu, whether it was just to protect the egos or whatever of the people involved, whether it was to like make sure that the people at the head of the academies would get the medals and the guys that were coming up would have to wait their turn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, who knows what the root of the reasons were, but that was a part of the culture.
Yep.
And I don't think anybody has said that yet, like in the social media realm. Like, and I'm not defending either one of the parties that are in the discussion. I'm just saying there's this piece of history that's not being talked about. And like when you're gonna say like fixed matches, let's make sure that we put it in the context of the time.
Yeah, like no, that's absolutely right. Yeah, no, that's so fair that I told you because you're right. Once you talk about that, like you forget about a whole section of time where like closeouts were super normal. They were
fucking normal.
Normal as
like,
anything.
Are you gonna tell me that like motherfucker, like dudes on your team from your lineage, Gordon, are a part of that?
Yeah.
Like the year that Matt Serra was fucking everybody up, I think he would have fucked up Marcio Feitosa too, but he didn't. Because somebody was the head of Baja at the time, right? Like,
was it Henzo that said that you couldn't do it, or who was it?
I don't know. I'm not saying.
Well, no. I mean, like, but who was the person that won? Who instead of him?
Marcio Feitosa won instead of Matt Serra.
Right, but Mario Feitosa. Okay, so Mario Feitosa and Matt Serra were on the same team.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I want to make sure. Okay, cool. Yeah. So yeah, no, yeah. So that's there. Yeah, that's totally there. So
like. It's a part of the history of the game. It's not a disparaging thing considering that was the common practice. Teammates don't fight.
Yeah.
But now they do.
Yeah. The other funny thing is that the other is like it's like the kind of example with like Gordon versus Gary Tonin. It was like that was a weird match too, my man. It's like I know people don't want to say it. I know you want to say it wasn't, but like it was a little bit weird. It was a little bit weird. Like I get it. Like it was a leg lock battle you guys had to go into, and if Gary didn't win the leg lock battle, then it's like it's over. He takes it back.
Wait, are you openly accusing Mr. Ryan of a work?
Either one of them could be working it. I don't know. It's like once, like, because like it's not like he tried to get out of it. It's not like I'm not gonna lie. Like you definitely would never just see Gary just get caught and just stay in that spot. He wouldn't just be like looking at the arm as it comes in. It's like oh no. Like it was a dramatic moment. Like it looked like a movie for a second. It looked like a movie when you watch it. Like it looks like a movie. It looks like a movie. It looks like it's a movie moment where it's like you know like it's like I'm trying to watch it. It's not happening, and then it's like it happened, and then he chokes you out. It's like, but there was just nothing. It was like it wasn't like there was like they're like all the credible defense that I know they have was not used in that moment.
Interesting.
Like
I'm not trying to back out of this, but
right.
I don't remember exactly how it got set.
We can watch it really fast. Don't worry.
I do remember that it was a fast match. It was only a couple of minutes. And I do know how good Gary is at escaping. But I'm not ready.
It's okay.
I'm not ready to be like, yo,
you don't have to
you
be
out
ready.
here working too, cuz.
Like, we can start it right
but
now.
you're gonna make me be ready,
yeah,
and I like you for it.
Yeah, it was like, what's up? You guys have to watch it. It's on YouTube. You guys can watch it. We're starting the match right now, 0-0. Let me move your face out of the screen. But yeah, so we're watching it. So Gary shoots.
He hits a super duck. Gordon pulls guard.
Passing half guard.
I mean, look, right now.
That.
Oh.
Gordon's on his back slowly. He's trying to ride.
So once there's back exposure, I mean, fuck. So right now, it appears to me that Gary is defending.
It does. In that moment, it's defending.
It doesn't appear to be a work right now.
But that right there, like he should be gone. Like he just kind of just sat there and just didn't. Like, why would you let him back on your back? Let him take side control, mount, anything else.
I mean, I don't know if it's let him.
Like, no, like all right, go back. This moment right here. Wait for it. It's this moment. He's out. He's free. He's gone. He could just literally all he has to do is just put his head to the ground.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's like he was out. I don't know. It's like it was. Maybe I couldn't see the back arm, but I'm thinking.
Or maybe it was that crab hook. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not. See, to me, it appears that he is doing the due diligence to stop Gordon from getting the body triangle. From like.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to survive here. I don't think this is a work.
Let's see. You got this. You got that. You can't really see much in this.
And frankly, even though I am physically afraid of Gordon Ryan, I'm not afraid of the smoke. Like if he's just gonna talk shit.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man, make me famous.
So like, if I'm looking at it right now and I thought it was a work, I would tell you.
Yeah.
But I don't see a work yet.
No,
I don't see any
I
work.
don't see a work happening either. I might take my words back.
Yeah. But I mean, he's got really dominant fucking back control.
Yeah, he's dominant back control. Yeah.
And honestly, if anything, it's a demonstration of his dominance because who's better at escaping than Gary? No one. Like no one. No one is better at escaping than Gary Tonin, in my opinion. And he's not going anywhere. Yeah, and that says a lot about the guy on his back.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I give it to you, yeah.
Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
You know?
Yeah.
He's got his hands controlled. Of course he can't do shit.
He can't even tap, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fair match. That's a real match.
Yeah, it's a real match.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Robert Drysdale versus Andre Galvao. Now that was not a real match. That was not a real match at all. No, that one was literally like some pro wrestling, like some super strong pro wrestling where it was just like I'm tapping.
Look, everyone's not meant to be a pro wrestler. You know? And if you're going to do a pro wrestling match when you're supposed to be doing a real match, that's a hard thing to pull off. In fact, they're about to try that in AEW.
What?
AEW, they're going to have a fucking cage fight under MMA rules as a pro wrestling match between Jake Hager, who used to be Jack Swagger, who wrestled at Oklahoma, who fought in Bellator and may still be signed to Bellator. To my knowledge, he is fighting my ex-fucking wrestling partner, Mr. Wardlow. He's fighting, I think he's just Wardlow now. Wardlow. He's fighting Wardlow in a cage fight under MMA rules. I'm curious as how they're going to pull that shit off. We will see, or at least I will see.
Yeah.
I think when you're in a shoot setting, in a real setting, and you decide to put somebody over, it's difficult to make it look like you're not doing it. Because especially if they don't know, and even if they do know, unless you literally work out the position, you're probably going to fuck it up, and you're going to show your cards.
Yeah. No.
What can you do?
Not much. There's not really much you could do with that. But
so let's go from the fakest shit to the realest shit.
All right. The UFC.
Let's go from the fakest to the realist.
The UFC.
And I'm calling the realist. I'm saying Nate Diaz is the realist. Because that dude essentially did pro wrestling. Now, I don't think that anything in that fight is fake, and that's not what I'm implying. Here's what I'm saying. Nate Diaz lost every fucking round of a fight. Right? And then in the 23rd or 24th minute, puts himself in a position to look like he might win.
Mm-hmm. It's a great story. It's a great story. An underdog guy getting beaten down, kicked.
So in a loss, you put yourself over to the point where it's almost as if you won.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredible shit.
Oh,
not everybody can do that.
Also, on top of that, giving like great advice in his own tone is like, and then like having that being repeated by Leon Edwards like makes it even better.
I mean, it literally, besides winning, like a loss couldn't go better.
No,
loss couldn't go better.
Yeah.
So like that's pro wrestling 101. You know,
mm-hmm.
Like make sure that you look good. Make sure you look good at the end of the match. That you might lose, but do people want to see you again?
It's like the
answer. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, they do.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by like that was pro wrestling. Like not that it was fake in any way. Like don't get it fucked up. Don't twist my words.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that dude found a way to put himself over in a loss to the point where people are eager to see him again.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Yeah. It's good. It's good for him. He'll get that Conor fight.
I mean, he's got to. Conor's about these trilogies.
Right. So
like regardless of what happens with Dustin Poirier, like when Conor wins or loses, it just defines the stakes of his next fight.
Yeah.
The next fight is inevitable as long as he wants to do it. Like people will pay to see Conor.
Yeah.
And people will definitely pay to see Conor Nate.
Of course. That
Conor Nate 3.
Conor Nate 3 in a post-pandemic world, on top of
Allegiant
John
Stadium,
Jones
dog.
And Francis Ngannou. Like that's where it would happen.
Allegiant Stadium, John Jones, Francis, Conor Nate. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I could see that.
80,000 motherfucking people.
Yeah, that's happening. That's a 1.5 mil like pay-per-view.
2 mil.
Maybe 2 mil. maybe. Like 2 mil only really happen. Like 2 mil can only really happen if Conor McGregor starches Dustin Poirier. If he makes Dustin Poirier look like a fool and like just really like not even like starches him, like pieces him up, like makes it look like Eddie Alvarez. Like
I was gonna say the Eddie Alvarez performance.
Yeah, like where it's just magical. Like oh my god, he's locked in. And it's like this is weird. This is magic now. It's like I finally understand like the feel like the magic of like that, and then the magic of Obama. Like it all makes sense now.
Like, what do you mean?
There's a magic for Obama where white people look at him as if they are black. Like they look at Obama like it's like one of those things where like poor white people looked at Obama like they're black, and like that like him being in office means something for them. And like that nigga did it.
I'm lost and happy to be so lost. That was fucking spectacular.
It's just because think about it, like all these people like felt this magic. Like when you talk about Obama to people, like not like people who are like I hate Obama or whatever, but like people who were Obama people and then became like Trump people. Like there's like magic in their voice when they talk about Obama when they first like saw him. It's like
look. Which you're onto something.
Yeah.
Because I was damn near Irish when Conor was on the rise.
Exactly. Like, something happens where like there's certain people where like you see them and like you feel like
that shit is far too accurate.
Like you feel like you're attached to their culture in such a weird way that it's like I am with you. Like I represent you even though I have nothing to do with you. I represent you, your culture, and everything that it stands for. And like yeah, it's like I get that.
That is wonderfully insightful and fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it has to be when Conor wins a fight, because once he wins a fight, then so he has to beat Dustin Poirier convincingly, like, and he has to and then that would be like the mega pay-per-view breaker, or 2.5, maybe 2.5 would probably hit it, and then yeah, you're crushing it.
Spectacular.
He's killing it, but
I think you're onto something.
Yeah. Oh, and then we gotta talk about the first Mexican champion of the UFC.
Bro.
That dude. That dude's story is I don't know his story, but I know it's a sad story.
Bro, when that guy won, I didn't see this coming. When that guy won, I bawled.
Yeah.
I was laying on the couch, watching him, and when he got that finish, and Dana put that belt on him, I lost it. I was just crying. crying. And there were people in the like around like watching the fight, and I'm just laying there crying.
Yeah, laying there crying.
Just laying there crying. I was so happy for him.
Yeah.
Like you could feel his joy. You could feel his joy. You could feel his relief because he really did do a 6-month fucking camp. Like imagine that. Like imagine this is what everybody thinks they do. Like it's like really locking yourself into a singular task for that long. I must beat this man. I must do this.
Yeah.
For 6 months, that's your life. It's just I have to beat this guy.
It's like basically it's like for everybody taking a like example of that. It's like just basically imagine like if I guess however imagine like the worst idea of the pandemic or like the first 2 weeks of the pandemic. That's basically what it's like for him for 6 months. It's like you're doing nothing but this singular thing. That's it. Like you don't go outside. You don't say happy birthdays. It's nothing. It's just here every day. Here's this guy's face on this punching bag. Here's this guy's face on these mitts. Here's this guy's face on this other guy's face. It's like I'm here to whoop this dude's ass. And I'm just training to get better and be better than this person. And that's all I have to think about forever.
What a huge win. And like everyone's saying like, oh, he's the nicest guy. I've only met him a handful of times.
Mm-hmm.
He is the fucking nicest guy.
I thought you were going to say something completely different. Like he's actually the meanest person ever. He actually came up and slapped somebody's mom.
He's so fucking nice. Like every time he walks past us, if we're like doing something in the PI, working out with Bo, that's where I would interact with him is at the PI. Friendliest guy, big smile for you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like just a fucking a genuine. You felt that energy of like just genuinely good.
Yeah.
You know, and so like when you see that, and then you know that he's putting in all this work, you want something great to happen for a guy like that, and then when it does, you're like, the nice guy's won.
Right.
That's nice. It's nice. You know. So shout out to Brandon Moreno. Congratulations, champion. You deserve it. You fucking deserve it. And I was overjoyed for you.
Yeah.
And you're a stranger, you know, and I felt him. I felt like I was right there with him. It was beautiful.
Now let's talk about the goddamn Sun Tzu of the UFC right now. Israel Adesanya. Like I've never seen so much mental warfare go on in a match than like mind you, I didn't even watch all of the match for the fight for Vitrion versus Israel, but the stuff that I saw, I was just like, this dude is really trying to make this dude believe he's that you're his bitch. Like he really tries to make that happen. Grabs you by the ass cheek and shakes it, says, "Hey."
But even though he did those things, like even though that happened,
yeah.
Vettori was like defiant as fuck. He was like, "No, I didn't lose." And he's like, "Come on, say you lost." It's like that. There's that video about pro wrestling that I really like, where like they're making fun of the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels in a very, very respectful way, and he's like, "No, it's Triple H," and he's like, "You keep acting like you won. Say you lost," and he's like, "No, you lost. Just say you lost." No. Like that's Marvin Vittori right now. Like,
yeah.
He's like, come on, man. I put it on you, right? And he's like, no. You didn't put it on me. And he's like, no, I fucking put it on you. Like, you didn't do shit.
Yeah. I was like, all right. I was like, whatever. But I don't know. I'm like, who? So I'm like, for Vittori, it's like, I guess first thing for Izzy, I'm like, do I really want to see another Robert Whittaker fight?
I don't think you have a choice.
I don't think so either. I'm like, ugh, get him out of here, man. Come on, Darren Till, step it up. What are you fucking doing?
That's the one I want to see, obviously.
Yeah.
I want to see Darren Till and Izzy.
You know what's fun? You know what's sad, though?
I just think it'll be such a fun fight.
You know what's sad about that? That would have happened, but Izzy turned down the tough thing because he felt like he would have turned into a horrible human being if he did that.
Really?
Yeah, he said, like, I would have done some disgusting things that I would have probably not been proud of if I would have been on that show. Just that mental warfare stuff. And so,
I see.
Yeah, so he's like, I don't want to.
Yeah, once you put yourself in a position to like do pranks, and you may or may not have a budget.
Yeah.
it can get weird.
Yeah, it can get weird.
And if you know that, like, man, I'm gonna end up peeing on something and putting it in somebody's thing, and then that's my legacy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Then it might be best that you stay home and don't play with the other kids, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like, just don't do that. I'm like, because I could see it getting, because like, especially with Darren Till, like, out of all people, that back and forth would be hilarious, but it would get very, very personal, very, very quickly, and very, very sad, very, very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're an alcoholic. It's like, how would you say that? Like, don't say that about Mr. Till.
It's like, I can't make memes about you, but what I can do
is like find out, like, hey, here's your recovery center that you were at, or something like that. Like, could you imagine? Because that dude parties hard. So like, could you imagine if there's anything like that out there about him? Like, yeah, he was at a recovery center. He's like, oh yeah, so you and John Jones should hang out a lot, my man. You guys got a lot in common. So you could just see it happen. It's like the jokes write themselves.
Yeah, that could go left. So the jokes write themselves.
Yeah, the jokes write themselves. Like, this is terrible.
But yeah, Izzy had a tremendous performance.
Yeah.
And it made me look forward to seeing him again. I'm not sure if everyone was entertained.
I don't think so.
I think people want to see finishes.
Yeah.
And when people talk of you like you're the second coming and you don't put a guy away, people are wondering why. But why is Marvin Vettori tough as fuck?
Yeah.
That's why. Marvin Vettori was in a position to fight for the championship of the world because he's very, very good.
You know what? Here's something really funny that I wish I don't have the picture pulled up. So when they were doing the promos for Marvin Vettori's fight, like, they allowed him to.
I know.
Yeah.
They allowed this poor man to take pictures to promote the fight of his life with his motherfucking pants on backwards. Now, I know that Venom is new, and Venom is the brand that is now making the UFC fight kits, including the uniforms. That was formerly done by Reebok, right? So the people holding the cameras are not used to seeing the exact layout of the new shorts. However, like, the same people that used to be like I don't want to say they were up our ass because that's not really accurate, but that would check to see, hey, is everybody wearing only Reebok shit? Like those same kind of people have to exist for Venom. Yeah. You would think that somebody at that photo shoot that issued those shorts to Marvin Vettori would have been like, hey, your shorts are on backwards. And that's bad for their brand too, right? Like, they're trying to demonstrate their clothing lines in the way that they were meant to be seen. They certainly weren't meant to be seen as if you were fucking crisscross wearing your shit backwards in fucking 92.
Right.
Like, that wasn't their intention. So, like, a lot of people dropped the ball there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that was just terrible.
But of course, they're gonna pick on Marvin.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
But, like, literally, think about how many people had to fuck that up.
Oh, yeah.
Like before that should never even have gotten to a photo editor. As soon as, if I'm the photographer and I've been snapping pictures all day, I'm gonna be like, hey, you're the X amount of guy I've seen today, and everybody else had that logo in the back. I think your pants might be on back. Like, no one saw this.
Yeah, they were just trying to get through.
No one. You're not in that room by yourself. It's just just weird. It's almost like they wanted him to do it. Like they thought it was funny.
Yeah, they thought it was like a good thing to do. I'm like, that's just not good. But yeah.
Fuck me.
Are we gonna know what else is happening? So let's talk. He's gonna talk about this weekend's like fight stuff, combat stuff that's happening.
Yeah, talk to me.
All right, we got Anderson Silva versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. happening Saturday.
That's really happening.
That's really.
I lost track of that.
That's really happening. Julius Caesar Chavez
I don't approve.
Sr. versus Hector Camacho.
Wait, what?
Yes. Hector Camacho Jr. versus Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. is an exhibition fight. And then Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Anderson Silva is an actual cruiserweight fight.
Wait a second. Like, all right, so hopefully this will be a real exhibition where they just play and touch.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
And then Chavez can throw a couple left hooks to the body, and everyone goes, "Oh yes, Chavez!"
Yeah, exactly.
like, I just want to chant Chavez, Chavez, one more time in my life. So Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. is arguably my favorite boxer of all time. I used to worship him when I was a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when Chavez fought Macho Camacho, I was deeply conflicted because those were my 2 favorite boxers. Pardon me. I have a scar in the center of my forehead that's a direct result of the actions of Macho Camacho. That is real. That is 100% a real story. So like, I care about those names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want anything bad to happen to Julio Cesar Chavez, and I think I would like to think that Camacho Jr. understands what's supposed to happen here.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to KO an old legend, and that everything goes the right way.
Right.
However, I don't think Anderson's gonna survive that without being KO'd.
I agree. Because this is real. This is not like a hey.
Yeah, that's a fight.
That's a fight. Like this. It literally says like it says cruiserweight, then it says for senior Chavez, it says exhibition. So I'm like, that's a fight, my man. You are not the Spider of. You are like Charlotte at the end of the movie. It's over, kid. You better just hope that your son can carry the torch from here on out if that's what you want him to do. But otherwise, it's time for you to crawl up and down.
I hope it's a huge payday.
I hope so too.
I hope they offered him $1 kajillion. And then he can ride off into the sunset and live a happy life in Brazil with his family, and come out of this without any kind of serious cerebral damage.
Right.
I don't like these kinds of events. Like, it's not that Anderson's washed or anything like that, right? It's your chin. Like, the skills, I don't believe, have diminished tremendously. But the chin has.
Mm-hmm.
And like touched on the chin by a fucking guy who's at a decently high level peak as a professional is not the move. But apparently it is. And hopefully it's the move to get the big ass check. And not just the move because you think you're about to be a pro boxer now.
Yeah, I hope so, because that shit is sad.
Super sad.
Super sad. Like,
who else is scrapping this weekend?
Oh man, I had the card pulled up, but it was the flow number. So there's the UFC. We'll do the UFC because that's easier. The main event is Dan Ige versus Chang Sung Jung,
aka the Korean Zombie,
the guy who never goes away, except for the times he goes away for a long time because of the military. But other than that, he just doesn't go away. That's gonna be interesting.
You've had very strong lines today. I'm just saying that out loud. I'm rooting for Ige.
For sure.
The new Papa. He's a good guy. And I'd like to see him pull this off. The Korean Zombie is a tough outing, but so is Barbosa. I'm going to go with Ige to win in the main event.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that puts him in a good position in the division. Beating a big name is always a good thing for your career.
Yeah.
And being in the main event is the best time to be a big name.
Yeah, that's a good time. Then you got Alex Olenecki versus another Russian guy, Sergey Spivak. But I want to see the guy just strangle somebody from the bottom, so that's what I want.
Yeah, Oleinik with the Ezekiel from the bottom of the mound. So tricky.
From
you know what's crazy?
Everywhere. Wherever he does it. I like Black
I
Beast.
rolled with a guy,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, maybe like 3 weeks ago or so.
Yeah.
And that was his gimmick.
Oh.
He was a big guy, right? And like at first I was having trouble passing his guard, and then I just slid through super easy, and I knew something was wrong. I was like, oh, that was a trick.
Yeah.
I've been trapped.
Yeah.
And he snuck it in, and I was like, no. I was like, I don't want to be a guy that gets stabbed by this. And I was in it for like, I don't know, probably 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like turning my head, trying to get closer so he couldn't extend.
Yeah.
But it's different.
Is it?
I should have punched through.
Ah.
But life is life.
Yeah, life is life. That happens.
This is how we learn. And it's not every day that someone tries that on you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I feel like...
Like, I'd never been in that position. So I was like, curious.
Yeah.
How do we... I guess we don't. Tap, tap, tap.
Yeah.
Another tricky-ass black belt. Tricked me. He tricked me. And Oleinik's been tricking dudes. And here's the funniest part. When I went with that guy, I didn't know that was his gimmick.
Yeah.
But if you fight Alexei Oleinik, you know that's his gimmick. And he still tricks you anyway somehow. Somehow he's gotten, like, lemmings to just jump off the fucking cliff. Like, yeah, go and take this mount. It's like, what if you don't mount him?
If you don't mount him.
Just don't mount that guy. You're gonna die if you mount him. I know it sounds weird, but if you mount that guy, he's gonna fuck you up. All right, so like, let's just not mount him.
Yeah.
Like, no one said that to a guy that's fighting him. Like, do not take the mount. Like, do not seek the treasure.
It's it's so crazy. It's like I'm like going back to his record. It's so crazy that he beat Fabricio Verdum. Like it's still so crazy in my mind that like you just shut down his grappling with your grappling and won a decision against that guy. I mean, granted, Fabricio Verdum looked like he was out of shape, like as anybody could be. Like he was just like, I'm here to fulfill my last fight, sort of deal. But like it still speaks volumes to that person. And then any notable fighters, Matt Brown versus Diego Lima.
Okay. Shout out to Matt Brown.
Indeed.
Hopefully, my boy Cameron Knight will be in his corner, and hopefully Matt Brown will get his hand raised, bring glory to Ohio. That's all I ever want to see, is glory to this beautiful state on my shoulder.
And I think other than that, that's about it for notable fighters. So.
What about weird news?
Weird news. Let's see if I can make people sad today. Let's see. So.
Let's see if I can make everyone sad and then say goodbye.
Yeah. I'm trying to see let's see. So. What is this place called? I'll come back to this one. That one's not as interesting. Spanish man jailed for killing and eating his mother.
Wow, Anthony.
Yeah. Alberto Sanchez Gomez, 28, was arrested in 2019 after police found a body parts around his mother's home, some in plastic containers. The court rejected Sanchez's argument that he was experiencing a psychotic episode at the time of killing. He will now serve 15 years for murder and 5 months for the desecration of a corpse. He has been ordered to pay his brothers $73,000 in compensation. Police arrived at the home in eastern Madrid in February 2019 that their friend raised concerns about the welfare of Maria Soledad, who was in her 60s. During the trial, the court heard Sanchez, then aged 26, had strangled his mother during a dispute. He then dismembered and ate parts of her body over the following 2 weeks, feeding some to his dog. Spanish media says he had been known to police because of violence against his mother, that he had breached a restraining order at the time of his arrest. Wild.
Fucking
that
dark.
Dude just you eat your mother, you kill your mother, you strangle her, the most intimate way of killing your mother, and then you dismember her and then you consume her. If that is not like a real true love story, I cannot tell you what else is, because
there is a link between cannibalism and love, at least like figuratively.
Yeah.
If you think about the way that like people talk about babies, it is not uncommon for someone to react to the cuteness of a baby by saying they want to eat them up. It's like, oh, I just want to eat you up. Like, you're so cute, I just want to eat you. And it's like, what? Like, I'm so cute that you are now a cannibal? Like, there is a link there somewhere in the psychology that binds those ideas together loosely.
Yeah.
But once you kill and eat your mom, I don't think we have to debate on whether or not you're psychotic or not. Like, no, right? Like,
for sure.
Now, whether or not your sentence should be adjusted because of psychosis is another conversation. I would say absolutely not. I would say lock this man far, far away from the rest of us.
I'd say just euthanize him.
Yeah.
You could do that too, but I was gonna say give him a vasectomy, an irreversible vasectomy, and then that kid should not be allowed to breed, and then make sure. I don't know. You can't really do anything because he has hands. So So I guess just kill him or lock him away.
You can do some Hammurabi's Code shit. And
no. That's because then you might as well have killed him at that point. It's like, what's the point then? If you have no hands, you can't do anything. It's like with no legs, you can do a lot of stuff, but no hands, that's rough. It's like especially if you didn't have flexibility to begin with. It's like,
look, with one hand, Jean-Jacques won Abu Dhabi.
I agree, but
mic drop.
That's great. He has one hand. If you take off both his hands, because you can't just give the guy one hand. Because like he can still do damage with one hand. Jean-Jacques is your great example. That would be my court case for just killing him. Is that Jean-Jacques? He was able to strangle grown men who had 2 functioning arms, and with one hand. And so you can't cut off one hand, but if you cut off no hands, he can't really do anything. He's like, Like,
we must kill him.
We must kill him. I mean, shout out to all the people who do stuff with their feet and their feet alone. But like,
like that guy that plays guitar every year on the the fucking telethon.
Yeah, it's like that guy. Like, good for you, my man. Like, great for that skill, and like everything else. But at the same time, it's just like, it's like this guy's not gonna learn that.
No, he's beyond help.
He's beyond help.
And,
just murder him.
Yeah, put him down like a dog. It's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. He's good. He's gonna go to a better place.
And he's Spanish, so he's probably racist too.
Oh yeah, especially he's from Spain. Yeah, that's true. You might be right. That's a strong possibility.
Well, if you can bury the entire city of Chicago, yeah. I can bury the entire country.
Yeah. You should. That's we don't have many viewers out there.
No,
we're good. That's fine. That's fine.
Anthony, it has been.
Oh wait, we got one more. We got one more. Quick one.
Give it to me.
Basically, this guy was this company was cutting grass on this property that they're supposed to be cutting grass on. All of a sudden, they found two people having intercourse. The two people having intercourse were upset about them being found out, so they grabbed the rocks and started throwing them at the lawn care people. Chased them off the property to continue having sex, and then left. Yeah.
So they finished.
I guess so because
That's fucking. See, when they have all those posters on people's walls and shit that are like, "Stick with it," like don't fucking give up. It's like when the people come with the blades to cut the grass, you don't just get up and run away and grab your clothes and hide in shame in the woods. No, you pick up some rocks.
I mean, yeah.
And you send those invaders away.
I guess so. I mean, like.
And then you finish fucking.
Yeah. I'm like, like that to me is the most bizarre thing. Is like I have sex on somebody else's property. I'm upset that you interrupted my sex on somebody else's property. Therefore,
I can't believe, the audacity of these motherfuckers to try to do maintenance while I'm trying to do work.
Especially on a 7 p.m. on a Tuesday. Come on, guys. This is a working class neighborhood. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm trying to match your lines, and I don't think it's as strong. But that was a funny one, and I'm happy I said it.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
You can't be trying to do maintenance. I'm trying to do work.
Yeah, he's trying to put it in. It's like, so you're like, put your hose on the ground like I do, my man. Like, come on, what are you doing?
Incredible.
Yeah, I don't know, that's all I got.
I'm gonna go kill myself.
All right.
That's not true.
He's like, all right, cool, man. I'll see you later.
It's just a figure of speech.
Right.
Don't get upset. I know everybody's sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, that's an issue that I'm very sensitive about in real life.
Yes.
But I joke about all the things I'm sensitive about. It keeps me from being like too thin in the skin,
Yep.
Too thin in the skin. You can't even have this thin skin in this climate. Though it is overcast as fuck outside. Right now it looks like Ohio outside. Right now it looks gray.
It's really sad. No hope. I know what you mean.
But I like that about it. That's why I put it on my arm.
Yeah, he likes the no hope.
Anthony, it's been a motherfucking pleasure as it always is.
Yeah.
I will talk to you soon. Internet, I will talk to you even sooner. There's so much to talk about, really. Like, you can go check out on Instagram at Love and Chokes United. You can check out loveandchokesunited.com and copy yourself the new shirts that are out.
Yes.
They'll be delivered to your home promptly.
Yes.
Cop that shit. People are copying them, and I'm super happy that they are. Shout out to anybody that's copped a shirt.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man Jimmy Jam.
Oh, I just
in San Diego.
Oh yeah,
doing his thing. The Original Shop. If you're in the San Diego area and you smoke weed, go to Originals. They just had Snoop Dogg come through. It's a beautiful thing. Shout out to my man Kitao Sakurai.
Mm-hmm.
Kitao Sakurai just landed a deal to do a huge fucking movie.
Shout out to him.
After having the #1 movie in the world on Netflix for a while, a minute. Shout out to him.
What was the #1 movie for him?
Bad Trip.
Oh.
That was #1 in the world, so my homeboys are out here doing it. And I hope to join you all soon.
Yeah.
And for now...
Wait, hold on. Wait, one more thing.
Yes.
Hey, guys, all right, quick tip for those T-shirts. You should buy all the belt colors if you're a white belt. So that way, as you get better, you have the shirts. You don't have to have, the shirt, like your white belt shirt if you're a blue belt. And if you're a blue belt, you can have your purple belt shirt. So you can have them all laid out. So I suggest you buy, how many belts are there? White, blue, purple. Well, buy 5 shirts, right? And then, for each in your size or whatever size you think you're going to be in the future when you get your black belt. And that's what you should do to help support the podcast.
That's exactly what the fuck you should do. Oh my God, Anthony, you are the greatest. For now, I must bid you adieu. Anthony, this is goodbye for real. Goodbye, Internet. Anthony, peace.
Peace.